Hello guys, and welcome to our next lecture of Learn to Swim program, and today we're gonna discuss where to begin. So what it means which stroke should you choose as your first stroke to learn to swim. But before we start, let me talk you through. So the first thing before you start learning to swim strokes, you need to remember, no matter what age you are, you need to get used to the water. Okay? So what it means there are a lot of people who come to the swimming lessons and they have fear of water for whatever reason. Some of them might experience drowning, some of them might just don't know the environment, and that's why they get scared about it. So before you learn any of the following strokes, you need to get rid of the fear and get used to the environment that the lessons will be taking place. How can you do it? So first of all, remember, I'm going to mention that again so it sticks in your head. So the learning process where you learn strokes starts ideally from age of 4 or 5. Okay? If you're that age or above, all of this applies to you. Okay? So getting used to the water. If you're a child, obviously the teacher should know that. The first things they're gonna do, they're gonna get in the water, do some activities like walking with the floats, blowing bubbles, like walking around the pool, trying the deep end, trying the shallow end, and those kind of things under the supervision, of course. With adults, really, it's exactly the same thing. Let me tell you the example. I had experience in my own teaching practice where a lady came for the lesson, and before she was having a lesson with other teacher, and I was doing the lesson in the next pool next to them, so I saw all of this, and I could clearly tell that she's got fear of water, big one, and the teacher was forcing her to take the float, do this, do that, but the lady couldn't do it because there was a fear, the big fear. And then I spoke to my manager and I said, listen, suggest that lady to come to my lessons, and I know what the problem is. And he goes, okay, I'll make sure we'll get this done. It was a one-to-one lesson, private lessons. And they did. So we've changed, she changed the teacher, which was me. And the first thing when she came in, I've asked her, do you have fear of water? She goes, yeah, big one. And I was like, why is that? She goes, because I had an accident when I was 12 years old. She drowned in the swimming pool and she was under the water for a certain period of time. I can't remember for how long. So they got her out unconscious. So that is a serious effect, isn't it? Serious experience. Now I understand why she's got fear of water. So for the next 5 or 6 lessons, we had no aims, no goals. We were just walking in the pool, crawling to the deep end, making her get used to it. And when she felt confident, and I've asked her, I kept asking her, I kept talking to her, I said, are you feeling a bit more confident being in the water? She goes, yeah, I'm all right now actually. I've got no fear, so I can move on with learning the skills. I was like, fantastic, this is what we wanted. And after that, the lessons gone so quick and a lot more efficient. So don't forget, getting used to the water, don't rush, take as much time as you need until you realize that you're fully confident being in that environment. Again, no matter the age. All right? So when you realize that everything under this chapter is accomplished and you're feeling confident, there's no fear, you can get in, but there's only problem is you can't swim yet. Fantastic. Let's move on. And the first, so as you know, we have 4 different strokes: backstroke, front crawl, breaststroke, and butterfly. 4 recognized strokes. Some people confuse front crawl with freestyle, okay? Let me explain the difference between the front crawl and freestyle. Front crawl is a stroke when you swim on your front and moving your arms periodically, okay? Freestyle is not a stroke. When it comes to competitive swimming, you always see people swim freestyle. Why is it freestyle? Because you can choose what stroke you want to swim. you can actually perform any strokes you like. Okay? Why? The reason why people swim front crawl all the time, because at the moment, at these days, this is the most fastest stroke. The most fastest. That's the reason people swim this stroke all the time. If you can come up with any other strokes that will be faster than front crawl, and it's not against the rules and regulations in swimming, you're more than welcome to do it. Okay? But no one ever came up with any faster than that. Okay? So that's the reason between front crawl and freestyle. Front crawl is a stroke. Freestyle, you can choose what stroke you would like to swim in a particular event. That's the reason, so you know. Okay, let's get back to backstroke. There is a reason why I put backstroke first, and this is from my own experience. You should be learning backstroke first. Why? Because when you learn backstroke, it requires one less element to achieve, and this element is breathing. Okay? When you get higher in the stages, you will be working on a breathing pattern, how to breathe correctly. I'm talking about like professional swimming and all that. But at the beginning, this element is not required. So what you do on the back, your face is always above the water. So you can breathe as much as you want. Why is it important at the beginning? Because when you learn something new, your brain absorbs and processes information. For that purpose, your brain needs oxygen. Well, your brain needs oxygen anyway, but when you learn something, it needs more. Okay? So imagine if you're learning new strokes, for example, one of them, and you don't know how to breathe correctly, the results of achieving any particular elements will be 10 times harder because there is a lack of oxygen in your system. So if you choose backstroke first, it will be easier to learn basic movements. You will learn body position and leg actions and arm actions, but with the face above the water all the time. So you can breathe as much as you want, and trust me, you will learn things a lot quicker. The next one would be the front crawl. Why the front crawl? Simply because backstroke and front crawl are very similar in terms of arms and legs actions. All you need to do is roll on your front, basically. Okay? So once you have achieved backstroke, you have already built confidence, you can move through the water, you know how it's done. Learning this stroke will be a lot easier. So when you roll onto your front and you start learning front crawl, only one thing you need to learn additionally is the breathing. Yes, you will have to learn how to rotate your arms in a different direction and kick your legs, but trust me, all the basic movements, all the basic skills you have already learned here, turning them into the front crawl will be a lot easier. Plus, one additional element is breathing. Okay, so this should be your second stroke. Okay, the third stroke is breaststroke. Why is it third? Breaststroke requires totally different body movements, and it's quite hard to achieve them if you don't have confidence in the pool. Confidence, body position, this kind of stuff. Once these two strokes have been achieved, breaststroke will go a lot easier because, like I said, you're confident, your coordination is a bit better in the water, you coordinate your movements a bit better. So this stroke will go, again, easier, yeah, other than if you started first. Okay, so try to follow this pattern. And the last one will be the butterfly. Butterfly is one of the hardest strokes to achieve. It's not because it's physically harder, which is true, it's physically harder. It requires a lot of additional elements. All of them require those additional elements, but butterfly especially. What are those additional elements? I'm not gonna spoil it right now for you. You will hear it in the next section. But what I'm gonna say is that what you do in the water during your swimming lessons, no matter what strokes you learn, it requires additional skills. Additional skills is the skills that you learn outside the pool. Okay? Why? Because all of the strokes will require you to perform certain elements. But some people might find it easy to achieve, to accomplish. Some people might find it hard. Why? Because of the physical restrictions they have. And it can happen at any age. Physical restrictions. Not many teachers actually pay attention to that. Okay? But some people, as much as they would like to perform certain elements, no matter what the stroke is, as long as they might be trying as hard as they can. They might be doing it as long as they want. But if they have physical restriction, they will never be able to perform the required elements, the required skills. What are those additional elements that you need to learn? Those elements actually go hand in hand with learn to swim and with swimming in general. Okay, so, but like I said, swim schools don't do it. For what reason? Well, simply because they do not have time for it. Okay, it's all about money these days, and it's understandable. If you turn up to the swimming lesson and you only have half an hour, so there is simply no time to feed the additional required elements into the lesson. But in this course, I've created all that, and you can do all this stuff at home, at your own pace, at your own free time. Don't forget, guys, that all the required stages of learning to swim, step-by-step stages, are added into this course. And if you go the sections below, don't go now, don't skip the theory lectures, okay? They are important, so be patient. Okay, so if you go to the videos, you will find them. Get Used to the Water has 1 to 7, so 7 videos in total. My son actually performs them. I think back then he was 4 years old, or 5 maybe. Remember, the best age to start. So he could finally start taking instructions and listening to what his dad is telling him. Before that, he was like talking to a pineapple. No attention, nothing from him. All he wanted to do is to play games. So let's get back. Get Used to the Water. We've got that 1 to 7. Backstroke, I think it's 1 to 10 or 1 to 11, exactly the same, 10 or 11 videos. Front row, exactly the same, I think it's 10, sorry. I can't remember right now, but one of the strokes has 11 videos and the rest of them have 10. So forgive me, I can't remember which one is at the moment. So 1 to 10. 1 to 10, so 10 videos roughly for each stroke. If you follow step by step, exactly as it's there, make sure you don't skip anything. I guarantee you, you will become a good swimmer with good skills. That's it for today, guys, with the strokes, the pathway, where to get started. And if you're interested in learning additional elements that are required together with swimming practice, I will see you in the next video.